Okay, so for today's class, we will be looking into what is called the mesh light, like yesterday what we were doing, and then we will look into IES lighting, and then the dome lighting. So these three, we will come to the end of V-ray lights. Okay, and then tomorrow we will start off with V-ray objects. Cool. So let us begin. So for today's class, I'll just model something instead of the ones that we were normally using, because there is something that is to be used. That is like we need to show something like external what is happening. I need to show. So for that, I need to show scale something in SketchUp first before using the V-Ray. Okay. So I'm just drawing a rectangle. I guess most of you knows SketchUp. That's why you are here for V-Ray class. So I'm just making this up. Okay. So I made something like this. Okay. And now I'm just using the curve tool and creating a circle and then offsetting it a little and um, okay. I made something like this. So this is basically a mirror. Just think that this is a mirror and the back side is having a LED strip. Okay, I need to create something for that. Like the curved surface that is out here needs to be made into a LED strip. So for that, what you need to do is first thing, if you want to use uh, the mesh light. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is make this the component or a group. Okay, first you need to make it a group. If I'm making this into a group, the surface, I am just making it into a group. Just double click so that you select the surface and make it into a group. Now if when you make it to the group, you can see that the mesh convert to mesh light gets activated. Okay, now I'm just oning the asset editor so that you can see what is happening. And before starting off anything, I just want you guys to do the primary settings that I've already told. Make it check your graphics cards, make it into interactive mode, and then go apply the mesh. Okay, so now this is a group. So now just apply the mesh. Just click on the convert to mesh, and if you could go to the lights option, you can see that there is a mesh light out here. Okay, and now if you go and render, you can see that there is a light. Yesterday's class also we had this light, but what happened is that the light was white in color. Because of that, I'm just turning off the sunlight so that you can see. Okay, the light was white in color so that you were not able to discriminate between the wall and the light. Okay, once you change the color, okay, if you change the color to yellow, and then if you see that, you can see now that the proper lighting of the surrounding is happening. Okay, the light starts glowing. You can also change the intensity. You can change it into radius power, which is the most powerful one. You can also change it to something like 50 or so that it becomes more bright, and you can see now it gives the illusion of a backlight or a LED strip around the mirror. Okay, so that's what this light will be able to do. This is one lighting lighting that could be used so as to create any surface into a light. Okay, and this would also help you to create cove lighting in false ceiling. Fine. So this is what is the advantage of this mesh light. So I'll just repeat what mesh light does. First you want to make it a group or a component, then you need to apply the mesh light or else it will not work. Fine. So that's about the mesh light. So any doubts till now? Yesterday also we did this, but what happened? The color of the light was different. So that is why you were not able to see it. Till this, any doubts? No. Okay. Cool. Now we will go on to something called as IES lighting. IES stands for Illuminating Engineering Society. This is a standard set of lightings that is available in any render software. I have already given this in our I have already given the set of this IES lighting in the G drive that has been sent to you guys. I hope that everyone has installed it. Okay, so this is a set of lightings that is used in Vray so as to create a proper the lighting setups could be really good. Okay, there are a set of lightings. These are standard lightings. Okay, these are international standard lightings that is being used. Fine. So if you could if I could go to the lighting package that I've already given you, you could see these many number of lightings that are available. Okay, like area lighting, bollard, comets, and if there are a lot many. Okay, these are the type of lightings. If you could see, this is the lighting image that you are gonna get. This is the preview of the lighting setup that you are gonna get, and this is the IES lighting package that needs to be installed onto your into the V-Ray. Okay, so for doing any sort of lighting of this sort, what you need to do is that first thing is I'll just create a box now onto it's not required, but I'm just creating it to show the effect. Okay, for showing the effect only I'm just doing it. Okay, now what you need to do is go to here. If you could see, there is IES lighting. Okay, click on IES lighting. Now it will come up with the place. Go to the place where you have kept the IES lighting. I have already kept it in something known as SketchUp plugins. I'm going to V-Ray IES light packs, and you can see this the file starts getting up. Okay, now you can go and check which one you want. Okay, now I'm just using this comet. Okay, for comet, if I'm going and searching, I can see comet. Okay, out here I'm just putting comet and I'm just opening it. Now similar to spotlight, you can apply the IES light. Okay, either by a single click or by pressing shift, and keep on pressing shift and first click, second click, you can basically check where you want to put this IES lighting, or you want this IES to be done. Okay, second click, I'm just putting it. So you can see something like this would come up in IES lighting. And if you give the test render, you can see this coming up. You can apply for any number of any type. Okay, any typology that is being shown out here, any typology like the display light, let it be a star light, let it be X arrow. There are a lot many options. You guys can try any one. Okay, there are two methodologies. One is like this. The second one is you can also apply it like by simply clicking on IES. Same, you can use open it and then you can just click on it. Okay, you can do this as well. This is also one more method, just simply clicking, or if you press shift and then click, then you will have a control. You will have more control over this IES lighting, or similar to the spotlight how you are applying. Okay, so that is what this IES lighting could do. This IES lighting is really useful, really important as well, because when you are doing something like a proper rendering setup now, you will require now if you are seeing it looks like a spotlight, but if you could see here, you can see that there are different typologies. Okay, X arrows, this defined diffusions are a particular typology of lightings, a scattered lightings. These are not possible by just your symbol spotlight setup. Okay, so that is what this does. Then coming on to the setups in IES lighting. If you click IES lighting and check, you can see that the intensity does could not be changed. Okay, it is in a situation, it is disabled. Okay, and kept. So what you need to do is just uncheck this. Okay, just check on this. The box needs to be checked, then only you can change it, because these are, as they are standard settings, they are basically restricting you to change the intensity. That's what is the meaning. If you uncheck it and then you can basically move it, then you will basically see that you can change the intensity of the light. Okay, if you uncheck it, you can basically see that it comes back to normal. and you can also change the color of it. Okay, you can press on it and change the color, whichever color you want, and then you can go back. Fine. This is also possible in options similar to our spherical light or omni light. You can basically change the diffusion as well as the specular in this light room light as well. Okay, this is what I needed to teach about the IES light. Make sure you guys have downloaded that file from the drive that I've given, because this is really important. Okay, because when you start rendering, you will see that for night rendering and night vision renderings now, this type of lights would basically enhance your render a lot. Okay, it would basically create more because no other render would basically give this sort of standard settings already into this models that you are giving. Okay, that's why I'm telling you to basically download that file. Second one, second the for today's class, one more. So any doubts till now for anyone?
So,
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
so for these lightings, is it possible to change the direction? As in, Abhi, what
Okay.
you have done is you've shown the downward direction of these lights. If I have to
Hmm.
show it slanting, like
Okay.
there's a lamp, and I have to show it in a slanting direction.
Okay. Okay, that's
So
what I was
is that
telling. Okay.
possible?
Yeah, it is possible. If you are doing it, when you're pressing IES lighting, comment option, I'm just opening it. Press shift. Okay. Press shift before pressing it. Like the spotlight, if you press shift in the first click, it will basically show something like this. In the second click, you can see that you can change the direction. Okay. Second click would be
Yes.
the place where in which you need to basically show it. Because of this being a IES lighting, I want it to be shown onto the surface of the wall. I am basically clicking on the wall. Okay, if you want it to be, if you are using it as a lamp or so, you can basically position it according to the direction at which you want to do it. Okay, you can press it like this and you can check the render as well. Okay, you can see that it is happening here as well. Okay, but the
Hmm.
thing is, it is being spotted towards the ground now, not towards the wall. Okay, that's why even the light is there. Understood?
Yeah.
That's what. Okay, press shift so that you have the control over it. Okay, similarly,
Okay, sir.
if you check the spotlight now, it's having the similar manner. Okay, only thing is spotlight also gives the panorama could be also done in the spotlight. Okay, if you basically have the spotlight out here, if I'm clicking on the spotlight, if I'm pressing shift and then clicking on the first point, you can see in spotlight also the same thing happens. Okay, spotlight, it basically allows like three clicks are there. In the second click, basically you have the point at which you want to direct it. In the third click, you have the the diffusion as well. Okay, the decay as well could be also shown in this. Okay, by the spotlight. Fine, that is what is a small difference between spotlight and this IES light. But IES lighting, there are different types. Okay, just not like comet type. It has basically like the stars one and so on. Okay, that is what is the difference between IES and this spotlight. Okay, fine, understood, clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Now we will go on to something called as dome light. Okay, this dome light is used for giving an HDRI. Okay, also known as high dynamic range intelligence, which is used so as to create a enhanced outer environment. Okay, when compared to this. Okay, I'll just show you what it is. Like if I am rendering for now. Okay, if you could see this, you can see that you have a image like this. Cool. Now I'm just, if you could see out here, there's a pot with a rectangle, red rectangle here. This is used by us so as to give if you want the region to be rendered only. For the next render, what I'm doing, I only want a region to be rendered and checked. For that, I'll just click on it, then just draw a rectangle. Fine. So in the next render, what I'm going to do is I am going to place the dome light out here. You can see what just happened. You can see a sky is being set up by it. Fine. So that is what this dome light does. It gives a artificial environment which is capable of producing a sort of light as well. Okay, when you are using dome light, I would suggest you to turn off the sunlight, because once it is basically like two different entities. If you are using HDRI, don't use sunlight. If you are using sunlight, don't use HDRI. Okay, that is what. Okay, if you are using dome light, don't use sunlight. That is a thing that is to be kept in mind before using the renders. Cool. So you can also, in this dome light, you can also change the intensity according to your wish. Fine. Now I want to give a image. I want to change. I am not interested with this sort of sky and this ground. I want a different sky as well as a different environment. Okay, an artificial environment. Okay, if you have seen Lumion, you know that there is a lot of trees and there are a lot of mountains that is being made. But here, what is possible is that if you have a panoramic image, also known as HDRI image, okay, HDR image, if you have, you could basically put that here and create a sort of 360-degree view surrounding for this model. So that is what could be also possible by the dome light. For that, first thing you need to do is you need to download a HDR file. For that, you need to go to Google, okay, and you need to type in called Poly Heavens or HDRI Heavens. Anything, both will do. Okay, both are two websites that basically helps in getting a panoramic or a 360-degree image. Okay, if you go to images, you can see that this is the image that I was talking about, but never ever try to download directly from this Google image, because you will be just getting a PNG image or a JPEG image. Don't do that, because at last you will not be able to use it. Okay, in this Vray. For Vray, you require a HDR image itself. So go to Poly Heavens. This is a site that I was telling. You can go for HDRI image. You can browse HDRI. There are many options out here. Okay, like there are outdoor, skies, indoor, studio, sunlight, sun sky, and there are a lot many. Okay, if you go to the nature, I want a different typology. You can basically download any type of image or any type of environment that you want for your model. Okay, from here you can go, you can basically select one. Let it be the outdoor, if I'm getting a good one. Okay, from here you can see that in the side there is something like 4K. This is the resolution at which you want. Then there is not as HDR or EX. Keep it HDRI, then you can basically click download. Okay, you can download this file and keep. Once you click, it will basically get downloaded. And then go to your SketchUp. Okay, now what I am going to do is I am gonna change this environment out here. For that, what you need to do is click on this texture. Then you will come to a place like this. Then click on this open file and select the HDRI image that you have downloaded and open it. So you can see that the HDRI image comes up. Okay, now if I give render, you can see what happens. Now you can see that something like this has happened. Okay, this is because the lighting is less. Okay, the intensity of the light is less. If I change it into 50, you can see that the image starts getting appeared, and it is, and I'm just offing this, you can see the entire image getting up. Okay, image coming up. Fine. So, but what is the problem is you only have half of it. That means the sky and the ground is being differentiated. For converting that, there is something option on a shape here. In the shape, change it to sphere. Okay. So now you will see that you have the block on the setup image out here itself. Okay, on the wooden, you can see if you move 360-degree, you can see that this moves along with the image moves along with this. You can create, you can basically search for images that are of really good stuff and good quality. Now it is becoming more realistic. Okay, if you could change it to the 30 or so, which is a little more dull. Okay, now it's coming little more fine. So you can basically download different files, okay, whichever you want from here. Let it be a evening sky, morning sky, which all sky, sunrise, sunset, whichever is possible, whichever you want, you can basically download it and apply it out here, and you can get a better image. Okay, the image that is a surrounding image that could be brought about. Then one more thing that you need to take care is out here. If you check is that if you go downwards, the problem is that this is on air. Okay. To avoid this to be happening, what you need to do is click on the image that you are having here, go to texture placement and then turn on ground. Okay, so that this becomes on the ground itself. Okay, this doesn't move up and down, it becomes in the ground itself. Fine. So that is the image. This is one more thing that is to be done, and you can play with the color manipulation, color gains, textures. You can just, okay, don't give this texture, I mean, you can basically give the color gains and the colorless as well, so that you get some more like a brighter image. You can basically check how much the intensity needs to be, color offset, default colors and all of this environment that is being created. You can go back. Okay, and in the options you can see that if you click invisible, the background goes off. Okay, if you want it to be present, you can basically uncheck it. Okay, that is similar like the normal lightings that are there now, you can basically create it. Okay, fine. So this much was about the dome light. So okay, I'll show you some things that I have already done in the Insta page, so that you guys understand how what are the advantages that this dome light does. One advantage that this dome light is having is that if you create windows, okay, like if I'm having a window out here, fine, and you need a outside background. Okay, let it be out here like this. I'm just rendering it. Now, if you could see that you get the background or the outer side as well without any issue. Okay, this is basically a helpful one. Okay, if you want to create a fake background outside while you are rendering, you can just give a dome light outside and you can basically provide this type of image as well, so that you get the outer windows outer environment. Okay, the environment that is gonna be there outside. Fine. So I'm just stopping the render. I'll show you some places where this would be possible from the Insta page that I have from the Insta page. So this is also an HDRI image. Okay, the model is basically is created on created only. This model is been there. The background that is there is basically an HDRI image. I'll show the HDRI image itself in Polyheavens. It's if you go to Polyheavens, in Polyheavens itself, you browse. If you go to the indoor, okay, studio, I guess. Yeah, this is the image that is being used. If you could check it, if the object is placed here, this is the same HDRI image that is being used. Okay, you could create such realistic ones if you could use this HDRI, like the image that is being done with the help of dome light. You can create something like this. Okay, and also one more thing is that you can give this sort of environment outside the screen. That is also possible. Okay, this like this as well. So this is also possible with the help of this dome light. So I hope this much was for today's class that I wanted to teach you guys, and this was a little complex stuff. That's why I took a single class. If I require anyone requires any more repetitions, please let me know.